Hey everyone, I am back. Today I'm going to be talking all about your brows, and today I'm going to be talking about my two favorite brow products that I use every single day. I like to fill in my brows according to the way my brows naturally are shaped, and some people might do it a little bit differently, but I just wanted to show you a tutorial on how I fill in my brows personally. Recently, I've fallen in love with two of the unique products. One of them is the Moodstruck Precision Brow Liner, and this color is medium, and then the Brow Gel. The reason why both of these are important for me is because I like to set my brows after I have shaped them, and that really helps to make sure that there are no brows hairs kind of coming out of place throughout the day or anything like that. So I just wanted to show you a quick tutorial on that, and I will get started. The reason why I love this precision liner so much is because the tip is so small that it really helps you to get a nice fine line, and it really helps to replicate what a hair would actually look like on your brow versus just throwing a bunch of product and kind of looking like you have a Sharpie brow. I'm not a super big fan of that. I like my brows to still look like they are eyebrows. Also, I like that there's a spoolie end. This really helps for me especially to make sure all my hairs are going in the right direction, and really helps me to push my brows in the direction that I would like. So I usually start with that, and as you can see, I have all my other makeup done. Sometimes I will do this at the end, and sometimes I'll do it at the beginning. It kind of just feels like whatever I'm feeling like that day, and it is a personal preference. So I'm just going to start by showing you how I shape my brows. So normally I'm going to push everything up in this direction right here, and then I kind of push up and over to try and make sure my brow is going to be flowing and falling in the right place. To start my brow, I normally start and fill in the section that I feel like needs the most help, and that's usually right here and a little bit above. Some people only like to fill in below. That's fine. All personal preferences. It's up to you. One of the biggest things I like to show people is to really take from the inner corner of your eye and kind of measure straight up, and that's going to be where you want your brow to start. Your arch should be along the middle of the eye at an angle right out here, and then this part, the corner of your eye, would be the end of your tail. So as you can see, this side my tail is falling a lot short. I kind of overwaxed it over years, and unfortunately I'm growing them back now. But the same thing on this eye, and you can see that this eye is a lot better. But some of you may have the same issues. Maybe your brows just didn't grow in that way. It's, again, personal preference, but that's the normal shape of the brow. When you start taking the brow in too far here and here, it kind of makes your face look like your eyes are closer set than they actually are. So you want to be careful for that. If you go too far over, again, your eyes look like they're further away from your face. So brows are very important, and the shape of them is probably the most important thing. Luckily, I am starting with a pretty good shape, and I'm sure a lot of you are in the same boat. You're kind of just trying to fill in the sparse hairs, whether it just wasn't full enough for you, or just kind of define the brow a little bit better. So I'm going to go ahead and start. I start with tiny, tiny strokes, and the reason why I like this product so much is because you can control it. It doesn't put on too much product at a time, and really helps to kind of continue to look like a brow. So I mean, you can see the difference already. And then I'm just going to spoolie that and brush that into place. So again, I can kind of see as I'm working how the brow is looking, and it's not looking like I have too much product on or anything like that. Again, I'm filling in a little bit of the top of the brow. That's another personal preference of mine. Some people don't like to, but I just feel like it makes the biggest difference. I do like to fill in this area just a little bit to give my brow a little bit more of an arch shape. And then this section, I'm gonna push up with the product. Instead of going over, I'm pushing up. And very, very, very lightly, like the lightest strokes you could possibly do. So I'm going to start with that, and then I'm going to show you a little bit of how to make this section look a little lighter afterward. But again, that's just another personal preference. Okay, so going along, tiny, tiny strokes. And then this part, I just really like to press a little bit harder and get a little bit more product. And then again, really, really, really light. So as you can see, that kind of filled in really nicely, and the difference is huge. Like now I feel like my eye is complete versus this side, it's just really, really not. Same thing on this side. I start right kind of after that beginning part because again, that's the part that I feel like I need the most help on. I feel like if I started putting product right here, I might go a little too heavy with that. So I just, again, start there. Biggest thing you should know for brows is that they don't have to be identical. You want them to match, but not be identical. If you have identical brows, you're very, very lucky, but most people don't. So it's just something to consider. They're not going to be the same. Both eyes are probably not the same. So you want them to just kind of look similar, like they are related, but they are not identical twins. So, I mean, it didn't take too long of a period of time, but it does make a big difference just to really take your time. At first, when you're starting, you might feel like, wow, this is taking me 15 minutes to do my eyebrows, but it's worth the time, and I just suggest practicing, maybe even taking a photo of what they look like, because what they look like in person and what they look like in photos is often two very different things. So it does help out with that. Now, I am going to take a little bit of this is a little bit of leftover makeup that I had from today, some from the concealer and some from foundation. And I do like to just go over this part of my brow and kind of just make it look a little bit lighter so it's not so prominent in your face. So just doing a couple little dabs really makes a difference, and it helps the brows to not look as intense, if that makes any sense. Now this one, I noticed I took off just a tiny bit too much, so again, I'm just going to go back in and place a little bit more product here. Okay, so once you get to the shape that you like and the amount of product that you like, some people might want it to be a little bit deeper and a little bit fuller and a little bit darker. That's fine, but whenever you get to the point that you really like them, I take the Precision Gel and I like to set the brows. This also adds in a little bit of color as well and helps it to, again, look like you have eyebrows and not just two Sharpie pencil marks or marker marks. So again, just using light strokes. And you want to kind of, you don't have to be perfect with this, but you do want to be precise with it. You don't want to start like swiping all over in your other areas, because then you're going to have this product all over the place and then you're going to have something to clean up. But it's actually pretty forgiving, so it's not like you have to be exact. Okay, perfect. If you have any questions, just let me know. I will again link these products. We do sell them in 3 different shades, and there's an array of other products out on the market. So some people prefer to use the powder. Some people prefer to use the gel, but it's all in what your preference is. As you start using more products, you'll probably decide this was better for me. I don't really like the way that this looks, or that kind of thing. So again, if you have any questions, I would love to help. I do have a couple of other lines that I do love as far as a gel product and a powder product. So if you have questions about those and you prefer those lines, just let me know. And thanks again for watching. Talk to you soon.